Hi, my name is Phoebe Warner, and I'm working on a creative fiction piece that is currently untitled. Written in a modern, digital, epistolary form, this story explores the potentially dangerous relationship we have developed with the internet and why we might take so much comfort in it. Focused on two characters who both serve as the narrator, one is an insecure and manipulative individual, while the other is a far too trusting and sincere romantic. Using digital like dialogue and journal like individual reflection, the reader is able to glance into each of the characters' heads while observing how they interact with each other. Charlotte chooses to abuse the anonymity provided by the internet by using it to catfish the naive Zane. As their relationship develops and connection deepens, Zane is increasingly frustrated with the lack of real life interaction they have had. Given that Charlotte is far from who she has claimed to be, she continues to make plans with Zane in order to watch him from a distance, dodging calls and texts in the moment from a man who has fallen for a curated and non-existent woman. Her plans for their future are much different than his. Will he only catch on once it's too late? I'm now going to be reading an excerpt from later on in the piece, and it's a section of Charlotte's that comes late in the story. This picnic idea is perfect. Well, I know who he is and what he looks like. He doesn't know what I look like. We're meeting on Tuesday, and school is still in session, so hopefully there won't be anyone close by. I'm not sure why he has this day free, but I can't continue to avoid interaction if I want to be able to finish everything off. In order for this plan to work, I have to get there before him to find the perfect parking spot. I know this area fairly well, and I know the direction he'll be coming from, so that shouldn't be an issue. Getting rid of the body will take the longest, but it's not much work beyond the lifting and moving. It's cheap. I have a place where the body parts will be able to sit. The disposal of him once he's dissolved will be a piece of cake. One of the biggest advantages of this new trend where everyone thinks they can be a beauty brand is that buying 100% sodium hydroxide, aka lye, is necessary for soap making. This, along with how there is no required license to purchase lye, makes it easy to blend in. I don't have to have a reason to buy lye beyond some good old homemade soap making. And in the Midwest, might as well let me star in a Little House on the Prairie reboot. I bought lye a while ago from a hardware store outside of the cities because they tend to be a little more carefree out here. They made me show my ID, but since Zane doesn't know my real name or what I actually look like, there won't be any direct connection. Plus, I showed off a little cleavage as a distraction and it worked like magic. I'm not sure the employee even read my full name. Once you have the lye, all you need is water. A pressure cooker is ideal, but it's too expensive for right now, and it's a red flag in conjunction with the lye. The plan is to beat him to the river, to find a place to park that is somewhat hidden or at least distant from the road, and bring one of those red radio flyer wagons I still have from childhood down to the water's edge with the picnic basket inside. I got the K and liquid E already. The ketamine will put him into a high he won't be able to handle almost immediately. The GHB will be for a little after that initial high to keep him subdued. Since we'll already be in Stillwater, the only thing I'll need to do is be able to get him in the wagon and to my car. From there, it's a quick 40-minute drive to my parents' cabin in northwestern Wisconsin. Most of the people with places by ours aren't permanent residents, and the few who are don't like being bothered. Because it's only April, the lake isn't as busy as it is in the summer, so there's a good chance our neighbors won't be around anyway. The cabin sits on the point of a lake with a yard that has enough space to set a couple big plastic waste tubs out of anyone else's view. His body parts will sit in the tub for a few hours, and I'll have to monitor them throughout. If all goes as planned, Zane will be nothing more than bone shadows and teeth filling within 48 hours. The majority of his body will have dissolved in the sodium hydroxide and water to the point of looking like thick coffee, his liquid flesh able to be dumped out in the woods, his bones and teeth crushed to a dust that can get thrown into the air and disappeared forever. I still haven't figured out what to do with his car, and that's the most pressing issue of the moment. On the off chance that he's shared his location with anyone, they'd be able to see where he was. And why the fuck would anyone want to be in Stillwater? I'm banking on the location not being shared based on his lack of a social life and the fact that he's a grown-ass man. I do know where his house is, so I could always drive the car back there and park it a block or so away. I could take it to a junkyard, but that would require more money spent. What I do know is that his phone will be brought back to his house, a couple calls made, the battery taken out, and the body smashed, a different form of destruction than its owner will suffer. Thank you.